Aloha and welcome to Moana's Divine Readings. I am Moana Anela and I am the Hawaiian Gypsy. I may have spelled it wrong, but well, I'm a gypsy, so I go with the flow. So I usually do monthly readings for the collective energies, and I work with the Mayan Oracles, as well as I work with Hawaiian Oracle cards as well. And for the love readings, I will be bringing in the Egyptian. So how my love readings are going to work I also will be bringing in financial readings as well, and I will be doing that in the same format as these love readings as well. So how we're going to start. So this is the intro, and I'm just going to explain everything here, so I don't have to explain everything for every time I do this. And so how it's going to work is that I'll have the sign here, and basically I will be using for the love readings, I'll be using the Good Tarot, and what'll happen is I'll have like basically a general for the sign, so it'll be either water, fire, air, or earth, and we're going to tap into my monthly reads that I do. The energy that comes through the monthly reads, I'll be bringing them into the love and financial reads. And so we're going to start off with a general for a particular type of signs, whether it's water, earth, air, or fire, and then that's going to be kind of a general, and then we'll be going into the particular readings after that. So when I do the general, we'll be using the Good Tarot and also the Romance Angel. Sorry, I can never remember what they're called, but the Romance Angel cards. And then after I do the general for that type of signs, the elements, then when I'll be going into into each particular sign for that sign. So let's say if I did water signs, so I'll do the general read, and then we'll go into each particular sign. So for water it would be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, and then from there I'll be using the Alchemy Tarot for the particular signs, and also the Enchanted Map. And I always use the my Hawaiian spread, which always calls into the energy of higher self, or sorry, when I do the general reading, it's basically coming from spirit, so more divine energies, so higher divine energies, the central manifested energies, and then also root energies, the energies that are kind of coming in, giving support to the manifested energies. Okay, and anything else I need to say? They are all general reads, so take what resonates. It's not going to resonate with everybody. Take what resonates, and and then just throw away what doesn't resonate. I do work with the Ho'o Pono Pono Hawaiian principles, so it's always about divine love and light, and we just call into that energies, and then go from there. So for the general, we take the aspects of what spirit is saying for overall, and that's why it's a general energy. And then when we go into the particular signs, when we go and use these cards, we basically clarify what and get into more detail what the general energy is. Sorry if I keep repeating myself. And then we when we get into the particular sign, then all of a sudden the position come more into a personal aspect of of the self. So we get into like now the three aspects that the Hawaiians use is the higher self, the middle self, and then the lower self. All right, and then I'll just say a little bit more about those when we get into those signs. All right, so that's just a major intro. I'll just, you know, put onto every reading so that I don't have to keep repeating this. It's just nice in the beginning. And so the general reading, and then when you get into particular signs, just look for the timestamps below. Okay, all other information is always going to be in the information below. And yeah, any questions, just leave that in the comment box, and I look forward to doing your reading. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Aloha. Aloha, and welcome to Moana's Divine Readings. We are going to move into fire signs, and just look below for after we do the general energies, what's coming in for love for fire signs, just look below for the timestamp for your particular signs. We have Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Oh, got that Mercury retrograde working on my brain right now. Sorry, just kind of blanking out for a moment. So yes, we're pulling in for when I did my general monthly. If you didn't see it, that's fine. Put that will be in the link below. If you wanted to watch, I always do a monthly general read for the energies coming in. It's a collective for all signs, and it just kind of brings in the general universal energies, what's going on in connection with the planets. And this is why I use the Mayan Oracles in conjunction with Hawaiian, and because these are all masters of the stars, as well as well, I bring in the Egyptian when I do the love readings and the financials. All right, so we're going to get started for the fire sign. So the general aspect of this reading, I'm just going to go ahead and flip the cards over. They've been meditated and prayed upon, and I haven't even seen the cards yet, so I don't even know what. But basically, coming in right away from the general monthly energies, we have, you know, Mercury in retrograde and you know, all kinds of things happening, tarot moments. So this is what Esnap is all about. He is the flint, and he's also the sword of justice, righteousness. So whatever we have released, you know, that sword comes in, cuts it away. And then Eek, our buddy Eek here. Now normally I only have one card come in, but sometimes two want to come in. And these guys work really well together, because Eek is the wind. He comes in and he just kind of, whatever we cut away, whatever we didn't need, this is, you know, spirit, universe coming in and taking that away up to the universe, so they can do what they need with that energy. We don't have to worry about it. So basically, spirit is coming in. It is right, they're right by our side. They're working with us. They're helping us through this transformation. And we got this mirroring effect with Snap too, as above so below, right and left, yin and yang. So a lot of you know, reflection, and that's exactly a lot of what a lot of us are doing, that internal deep reflection, so we can see what is not needed, what is not doing us any good, and getting rid of that. And then as we get rid of crap and things we don't need, then we become like more and more who we truly are. And we got Ho'o Malama, and that is, you know, illuminate. We begin to illuminate, you know, our divine selves start coming through. So for our love readings, this also energy gets pulled. It gets pulled for all signs, but then the reading itself starts getting into individual signs. But we have soul retrieval, and soul retrieval is all about, you know, the deep soul healing. You know, with the goddess of Isis, I asked for divine Isis to come in. She is the you know, in Egyptian, she is the you know, that divine mother, okay, that comes in, that basically that divine energy that gives us, you know, the nurturing that we need. And she came in and calling in to help us with this soul retrieval, which is basically taking back our power back to ourselves. Nobody can take it from us, but we can certainly dismiss it. But so it's basically taking back that acknowledgement of who we are and stepping into that power so we can, you know, get this Ho'o Malama Lama, illuminate who we really are. All right, we're going to get into the reading for fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. And I'm just going to pull them all out together. And interesting, Nine of Air. Oh, wow, Hermit. Hermit again. This is interesting. He came out for the water signs in the same space. So a lot of us, wow, just kind of like what I just mentioned, a lot of us are going into this internal, this is the higher energies position, and a lot of us are going into the internal, internal healing, that internal, you know, looking at ourselves. Fire signs got a nice balancing of some air energies coming through. Got a couple, well, got your own sign coming in. And then this card is the bottom of the deck, basically the overall energy for the reading, and it's Ace of Earth. Really beautiful. Wow. Okay, so you guys are fire signs. Usually is pretty good at manifesting things. Fire, you know, the fire element is also really good at, you know, almost like that alchemical reaction, because it takes fire to actually, in some cases, to be able to transform certain things into a whole new constituent of something brand new, if you will. Just basically changing things, and it does it alchemically, you know, that process, it can actually change something into a whole new element. So right off the bat, I always start with the middle card, and we have Nine of Air. Okay, basically Nine of Swords energy. So just as this card looks like, we the Nine of Swords energy card is basically the same message coming through. And but in this case, she's looking a lot more, you know, peace. The Nine of Swords speaks about you know, speaks about that's so much in worry that, you know, it keeps us up at night. So what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a couple of things. So we just finished talking about going into that deep meditation, and right above the Nine of Air, we have the Hermit. And the Hermit is all about, if we look at the, you know, okay, in a lot of the major arcana cards in this deck, the number is kind of off to the side. It's interesting, in this particular card, the Hermit card, the number is right here smack in the middle, and it almost looks like a little sun kind of shining through. And, you know, again, I'm getting this illumination, and the Hermit card, Virgo energy, is all about that going inside, really depicting and, you know, like taking apart, if you will, every element, in this case Hermit, every aspect of the self, in order to really attune and connect with the self and know what each part of yourself is all about. Like really kind of getting to know yourself and making friends and falling in love with yourself, if you will, so you can illuminate. And we got that Ho'o Malama Lama energy again, and all about illumination. So when we come back to the middle self, when we come back to this middle energy here, the energy that's coming in is this Nine of Swords. And I'm going to get to the love aspect in a second. And it's, you know, basically, what I'm getting is, you know, this light shining through. So what I'm getting is, you know, the birds kind of represent the nine, the nine of air, right? They represent the nine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So, but what I'm getting is she's in this middle here, and the birds are all around, and they're kind of flying all over the place, and they're distraction. And that's kind of the aspect of the Nine of Swords, is she's so distracted with her mental energy that she can't focus. But in this card, you can actually see she's beginning to focus, and she's spreading her own wings. So basically, she's beginning to find out her own direction or placement, if you will, in this whole, you know, mess of confusion and distraction. So basically, and it's interesting for fire signs, because fire, you know, can be an element that can be kind of like all over the place, if you will. Like, you know, we talk about Sagittarius, you know, one of the aspects of Sagittarius is shooting the arrows. It can be shooting arrows all over the place, so having many goals or many things. So I'm getting there's many things in your mind, and what I'm getting is that it's this distraction. And it's almost interesting when it comes to, you know, the love reading. It's like you're kind of, you've noticed, you've been sitting outside of yourself, which has kind of also created, you know, maybe a bit of like an isolation in a way that was unproductive in love, whether you're in a relationship already or whether you're single. You know, you want love, but you're a little distracted. Like, love is basically, love is only one of the many things on your mind. And so you, maybe there has been some conflict in your love life right now, and you've been feeling it, but you just haven't been paying so much attention that you're like kind of thinking to yourself, well, I don't know why I'm having problems in my love life. I'm this great and fun person. But, you know, something, you know, things are just not happening the way I would like them to happen. But at the same time, it's almost like, you know, one of the many things that you're trying to balance in your life. And, you know, a lot of the, you know, worries, I am getting some worries. There's like a lot of things going on, is what I'm getting. A lot of things going on. It's creating you to worry, you know, to the point where, you know, you're losing sleep, these kind of things. So, but now it, you know, what I'm getting is you actually started to notice that. And now you're like, oh, okay, I am just going to you know, center myself. I'm going to bring everything to the center focus. And I'm going to close my eyes, so I'm not going to pay attention to all this other distraction. And I'm just actually going to come back to me and center myself. So it's almost like the flame and the fire is now coming back to the center. So instead of like burning everything down, it's going to come back to the center of the flame. So if we take a look at the candle here, and there's a meditation that can be done with the candle meditation. And what it is, it's focusing on that flame. I don't know if that's coming through. And if you focus on the flame, you come to the center. And it's just being able to focus on one thing. So what's coming through right away, and it's interesting that this is the center card, the center energy. So what's coming through right away is Spirit is saying, yes, come back to a center. Come back to your centered self. So if it's a fire meditation that you need to do, or if it's, you know, something that helps you to be able to just kind of focus and just hook onto one thing. And then you're going to balance. See, now the wings are out. They're steady. They're not all over the place. They're steady. And she's ready to take flight because she's starting to know what direction to go into. So it's this kind of energy that is calling to center. And the energy that's crossing that, that's supporting that energy, is the Queen of Air. Again, some more air energy. And now, interesting that this energy is the center of the reading, because air is what controls fire. So what I'm getting right away is almost maybe, instead of the fire focused meditation, it's maybe breath work. Just breathing. Focus on your breath and just relax and breathe. And just kind of focus on the breath. And then we have this Queen of Air. And she's completely focused. She knows exactly who she is. She knows what things to get rid of. So I'm getting like some of these like birds right here. Or all this stuff that's happening, this distraction, not all of it is necessary. You don't need to focus on some of these things. Some of these things you can, like, or task, if you will. Like, I'm kind of getting like, you know, a bird is a task or a project or something. Some of these things you can let go and say, hey, I don't need to do that. I don't need to work on that, you know. And then by just breath work and centering, you know, this divine wisdom, owls represent divine wisdom and hidden wisdom. So getting rid of all this distraction is going to help you to see what's, you know, true purpose, what it is you need to focus on. And again, the owl is one of the most focused birds there are. One of the most focused animals there are out there. He's focused. And the thing about the owl too is he's the only one that nobody sees coming. He makes a sound. He makes no sound when he flies. Not a sound. He's so in perfection because he's so focused. And he's so, again, like the Hermit card I was speaking of from the divine energies here, you know, is talking about exactly that, knowing every detail aspect of the self. Like, he's so attuned, like exactly how to, you know, expand his wings here. He's so centered. You know exactly, you know, how fast to fly, how strong to flap his wings, and exactly what direction he's going in to get his prey. He knows in perfection exactly who he is and how he needs to act. And this is the hidden wisdom, and he's on her left shoulder. Left is has a meaning also for, you know, things that are hidden, the left side. It's her left shoulder, not our left, but her left in the card. And so what I'm getting is that there's a love trying to come through, but you can't see it. It's right in front of you. And this is kind of what I'm getting. It's right in front of you, but because of this distraction, you can't see it. So if you are looking for love, you're wanting love, this is a love reading, it's there. All right. So we were talking about how this love that's coming in is right in front of you, and it's just it's right there. You're just not seeing it yet. And I say it like that because we have the Hermit card here, and the Hermit also talks about, you know, that going in. So, and it talks more about your timing. So when you're ready to receive, then this love will, you know, then you'll see it. It'll kind of, you know, have this, you know, revelation kind of thing. It'll be revealed, unfolded, right in front of you. Then you'll recognize it. But it's kind of like when you're ready, however. So that's the good thing too. So it's there, but it'll be there when you're ready. And that's just kind of, it's having a fire energy. I'm getting that, you know, going through this transformation process. It's basically this is the Seven of Wands, Seven of Fire. It's your energy, fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Sorry, I kind of said that pretty quick. Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And basically, you know, Seven of Wands, the Seven of Fires card, talks about, you know, rising above all that. So it's almost like I'm feeling like the sense of accomplishment, accomplishing something, finishing something up. Seven is a energy of a number with the energy of temporary movement. So it's like you've already accomplished something, but you're just kind of like wrapping things up, wrapping the ties, you know, tying the final, basically you're just wrapping it up, wrapping things up, and it's kind of like also elevating you, so you're rising above, you know, a lot of situations and turmoils that are coming in. And so with that, it is looking like, you know, a lot of focus. It is, sorry, feeling like all this focus is kind of on what you need to do before moving forward. And it's kind of a good energy, again, because of the Hermit energy. It's kind of a good energy because it all ties in with this accomplishment. You know, eyes on you right now, fire signs, you know, there's a lot of eyes on you. There's a lot of, you know, attention on the outside, looking in at you, and it's like coming into terms, your own terms of your own success. And it's almost like a sense I'm getting, this believing in, wow, I did it. And it's like you arrived and you didn't realize that, wow, I'm here, I made it. And so I'm getting the sense of relief, and that's why we have this, you know, internal energies going on with the Hermit. And I keep going back and forth because it's a nice parallel of, like, you know, the inner light, you focusing on your inner light, and then you have all these external attention, people, also this focusing energy that's also on you, like the spotlight is on you. We see these fireflies, if you will, you know, and it's like, you know, they're shining the light, but it's, you know, it's still, you know, it's still dim outside. So it's like there's this tension on you, but it's a softened attention. It's not like this big, huge spotlight. It's more softer than that. But there is a lot of tension on you, and you're feeling it, and it's making you feel good. It's a really warming attention, and this all comes into, you know, you balancing all this out. You know, this completion that you just come through. You know, and it has been, you know, climbing the mountains a little bit. It has been a bit of a struggle. You know, Wands energy, the Seven of Wands, Five of Wands, you know, often deal with, you know, a bit of battling and things. So it has been a, you know, a bit of a challenge, a bit of a battle, a bit of hurdles there coming, you know, getting to this position. And now you're like, wow, it's like all of a sudden you arrived, and you still thought that you had a bit to go, but you're just realizing, no, I'm here. I'm done. So then it's like finishing that all up before moving forward, before being able to look at love coming in. And so that's the energy that I'm receiving. Again, this is general read, so take what resonates. And then on this left side here, we have energies that are hidden, or energies that we're not seeing that are coming into play, that Spirit wants to reveal. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. So again, it's this energy. Nine of Pentacles talks about, or Nine of Earth in this deck, which is the same as Nine of Pentacles, and it talks about that independence and success. And it's kind of like what we just said, right? Whoops, sorry, I can't get these. I'm trying to get a good hold on these cards. Okay, we're going to hold it like, oh wow, my hands are not working right now. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, how's that? Okay, perfect. All right, so Nine of Pentacles talks about this independence and you being strong and knowing who you are and standing strong yourself, and being independent, successful. And that's exactly what we were just talking about. So we have a lot of this independent energy, but it's the focal point is kind of what's really cool, is this focal point of this is you focusing on yourself, and then this is a focal point on external people focusing on you. So you're starting to get a lot of this attention, and it's making you strong. It's really having you coming into yourself, and and I'm looking at this flower and the mask, and I'm like, you're ready to also remove this mask to reveal this kind of revealing of who you really are. It's like there's no more, okay, I have to be a certain way to appease certain people so I can move up the ladder kind of thing. It's or so I can fit into a certain group. It's like, you know what, I'm making my own group now, and I'm attracting my own soul tribe, and it's because I'm being myself, my independent self. And you're starting to see that successes are coming in from that. You were successful because you actually you did it. You did what you needed to do to accomplish this goal. And before a new love can come in, you need to finish up you need to kind of finish up the ties, tying up loose ends, that kind of thing. Finish up, this cycle that you just arrived and started coming into this new cycle, before you can bring anybody else in, and then you're going to see an equal love. So independence is really important for you right now. That's what I'm getting. That's a message I'm kind of receiving from Spirit, is that your independence is really important. And even though you may be feeling you're wanting a new love, or if you're in a relationship, you're wanting to move forward with your relationship, or you're wanting to move forward in an endeavor, a partnership in a business, or something that you're passionate about, there's this sense of really like completing something within yourself, and still maintaining this form of independence is what's coming through for the fire signs. And then on the right side is energies that are on the side, energies that we're aware of, but either Spirit wants us to take a certain perception, kind of like a different look at the energy, or pay more attention to it. We have Messenger and Air, so another air sign. So I'm getting controlling this fire, and I'm getting a sense of the sense of quite possibly what I'm getting, this ace of earth. I'm still getting a sense of standing in yourself before moving forward, because when we arrive is quite exciting. It's very exciting. There's a lot of excitement, and sometimes it can, especially if we're already like a fire sign, we could take our excitement and it can be amplified, like throwing gas onto the fire, that kind of thing. So I'm getting a slight sense of some air energy, more like continue on with the pace that you've been going, a nice steady pace. Make sure you don't start getting caught up into you know, like I want to say domino effect, but it's kind of not the right term. More like, you know, like the snowball effect. There you go. So the snowball effect, where the more snow, as the snowball rolls down the hill, let's say, the more snow gets attached to it, the more it, you know, goes faster and bigger and faster and bigger until like smash. So there's a sense of that, where just maintaining the pace, and especially if you're feeling good about yourself, and you know, that revelation of this new love, and it's like, wow, you know, it's attraction, and then it's kind of like jumping into that relationship. So there's a sense of still going steady, still going slow, more steady is what I'm getting, steady pace. And so Messenger of Air, the card itself, is also, you know, that of a that's basically the Page of Air, so the Page of Swords. So just again, kind of, you know, Page of Swords, as it says on the card, messengers, they're like messengers, they're bringing good news. So, you know, the sense of, you know, when you get that final, when you wrap things up and you get that final assurance, that final, I'm trying to basically say confirmation. When you get that final confirmation, and it could come in a form of some form of message, either email, snail mail, message in the actual mail. When you get this, you know, confirmation that you've been waiting for, you know, of course, excitement, celebrate, but just make sure, I'm just getting this sense of, again, steadiness, pacing, maybe something to the effect, don't count your chickens before they hatch, that kind of thing. So very, very interesting energy. So, and because it's a love reading, you know, maybe you know, up until now, if you're single, you've been kind of like, well, I really want, you know, that relationship, but I'm definitely going to make sure I get myself steady first, and then, you know, once I get my you know, my feet stable on the ground, you know, then I'm going to look for that relationship. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh, I'm here, I've succeeded when I wanted to succeed, I'm ready for that love, and that love has been right by your side, but then all of a sudden it's revealed, and then it's like, whoa, let's get married, or you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, basically, don't get caught up with all the excitement. I am really getting to just stay steady. It's excitement, enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, enjoy the company, but yeah, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. That's what I'm really getting, and just like enjoy every moment instead of rushing forward and, you know, trying to get to that next phase. Because sometimes it's easy to get caught up. And so we have the Angel Oracle cards and the 3 that came out, which is, wow, this really makes sense to what I'm saying. So we have this Stay Optimistic. And then we have this You Deserve Love. That goes back to that 7 of Fire. You may have been beat up a little bit trying to get to your goal. And that's why, you know, you didn't even realize you arrived, you achieved it, and here it is. Because, you know, there was that little bit of, you know, too much focus on the challenges, and it's like, wow, maybe feeling that sense of well, getting to the point where it's like, wow, I don't even think I'm going to arrive. Maybe I don't deserve it, that kind of thing. Not really getting down on yourself, but maybe just kind of losing faith is what's happening. And then, you know, all of a sudden you realize you're arrived. And so, and this kind of, the soulmate card came out. So that's kind of where I get the sense of this slow down. Because, you know, getting your soulmate, you know, right away, that's that instant connection, that instant, you know, that instant flare, all that excitement. And so you still want to keep going slow. All right. So that's where the all this, and then we got Sagittarius kind of looking card right there. So, and then stay optimistic. So what I'm seeing is, you know, your process may have had, you know, like a behind the scenes kind of goal. You know, I'm doing this so I can have my soulmate come in, and when my soulmate comes in, I want to be ready. So you've been really focused on your goal, which is good, and the inner work, which is good. You know, but behind the scenes, you know, kind of had that, you know, that driving motivation. And you know, it's to get this love. So when this love comes in, just don't get overly excited. They're there. You know, spirits brought them into your life, so be sure to just take your time and enjoy it, because basically nobody's going nowhere. All right, well, that's the general message, and then we're going to go into each individual sign for fire. All right, we'll see you over there. Aloha. Hi, and welcome back for Sagittarius. So when we get into the individual signs, basically the 3 levels of energy become the middle self. Resonate with the Hawaiians balancing the 3 selves. So we have the middle self, which resonate with the heart chakra. That's you manifested on the earth and how you express yourself outwardly to the world. And then we have the higher self, which is resonates with the crown chakra. That is your divine higher self. And then at the bottom here, below the middle self, we have the lower self, and that is your basically your pure self, your subconscious self. That subconscious survival instinct. It's also the self that when we're burnt or hurt or there's that pain, this is where we harbor that, and we can harbor it into fears or ego, basically, and it's the area where we begin our healing. So coming in through for the love reading, so we have the energy of basically really good energy, doing a lot of soulful work, going inside, and you know, an attention, a lot of tension on you in and out. So at the bottom of the deck for your sign, we have the we have the Page of Wands. Now, I kind of made a little bit of error in this card. I'm still getting used to, I don't know why, it's taking me a while. We have the Messenger of Air, and I kind of read it as the Page of Air, but the Messenger of Air is actually the Knight of Air, the Knight of Swords. But the energy still, but the message is still basically the same, about slowing down, take your time, even though the Knight of Swords is very fast moving energy. But it was like the Spirit wanted us to take a different perspective on the energy that's coming in. So you're going to feel fast moving energy coming in love. And basically, so Spirit is wanting you to take note and pay attention to energy, so we can use the air element to kind of like, you know, when we talk about love, is also like a fiery passion, your fire sign. So it's like to use this air energy to kind of slow things down and kind of control that energy a little bit, so it doesn't turn into, you know, like a bit of a flame into a fire, an infernal fire. Okay, so coming into the individual reading, I'm going to start for the individual sign for Sagittarius. So for the middle energy, we had the Nine of Air, Nine of Swords. So there was a lot of distraction, coming in, which was, you know, basically creating that you know, the Nine of Swords energy, basically, you know, thinking too much, causing you to lose sleep, a lot of, you know, like worry and all that kind of stuff. But basically the general energy was you basically realize, you know what, I'm not going to pay attention to what's going on inside me. Going on around me. I'm going to pay attention more to what's going on inside me. And then that kind of worked out. You know, we had the Hermit card out here, which actually goes right into the message from the middle self. The middle energy. And so that was that going in. And then we realized as we go in and just really attune to ourselves and just started being who we really are and not worrying about all this external influences, that we realized, oh, well, we were also getting kind of like an approval, attention from external sources as well. But it was all this balancing of aligning with yourself, with even people around you were realizing, wow, this person's amazing. So for Sagittarius, the energy is now, okay, so for the middle energy with the Nine of Air, and so what was more going on for you, and of course all this was, you know, putting a kind of like a hold on the love that you want coming in, or if you're in a relationship, putting a hold on you know, moving forward or getting closer with your person or your partner. So the middle self energies coming in is we have the Star, and then we also have the Devil. Interesting, we have these two. And then we have then we have Strength. So basically I'm seeing, you know, this kind of conflict here, which goes with the Nine of Air, all this distraction. So you may have found, like, you know, maybe, I think I might have mentioned, you know, some OCD going on or something like that. So you may have found yourself kind of really getting, you know, too much attention to one thing, and you know, and it was kind of like, you know, tearing you apart, kind of like breaking you up, and, you know, basically, you know, losing, you know, that self identity, losing your self identity to all the distractions that's been going on, and, you know, kind of being controlled by everything outside of yourself. So basically I'm getting, now what's coming through is, you know, a lot of like unnatural energies that were pulling you here or there, and that were kind of toxic. It wasn't healthy at all. And, you know, when you're not balanced and healthy, then, you know, that's going to have an impact on, you know, a loved one coming in, or a loved one that you're with. So there was, you know, this isolation and a sense of not being able to connect. And that kind of came through the general reading for the fire signs, that you know, there was this sense of isolation. Now, for you, it was needed, but for the partnership, it may have had a bit of a negative impact if you're with somebody. And if you're single, it kind of put a hold on that. And it created this kind of it might have created this kind of, you know, kind of neediness, you know, for really wanting something in love because of this disconnection, and because of this outside influences. But now we had the Star card coming in. So basically, the Star card coming in, with the Nine of Air, we spoke about, you know, tuning into, and again, she's in like that fetal pose. So again, tuning into your soul core self, and just kind of, and if we look at this is kind of like the devil kind of looks like, I mean, the star looks kind of like, you know, the devil star, you know, how they have the star, they put it upside down, it's like the devil horn. So it's like, put all that, you put all the toxicity, you realize it wasn't part of you, wasn't supposed to be a part of you, and you put all that toxicity outside. You realize, I had to do that, and then go inside. And then the water is representing like emotional, so it really threw you off emotionally, and that's where the separation came in for the self, is that your emotions were like all over the place, and it was affecting your mind, and you couldn't think straight, you couldn't balance yourself in life, figure out what was going on. And so it was like coming back into yourself, and that's where we had the Hermit card come in, and putting all this stuff that was unnatural, like, you know, recognizing, hey, this is not part of me, and putting it out there. Now, because it's a Star card, and Star card is quite, it's Aquarian energy, but it's also quite a karmic card. So basically, you know, coming in that this was also a major important thing that you needed to see, kind of like a soul lesson that needed to see, to balance yourself in order to have a healthy relationship moving forward. Because we're coming into a time where it's a time that's kind of, and I really want to say it this way, it's a time that is becoming demanding upon ourselves, that it's demanding us to do this healing, to do this work, because if there is work to also be done with a soulmate, and you have soulmate here. So if you're in a relationship, you could be with your soulmate, but maybe haven't connected to that part of each other yet. But it's coming, because now you have arrived, and that was the Seven of Fire. So after doing all that work, you have arrived. So, and we'll go more into that energy when we go down there. So it's kind of, and that's why I like to say, so it's like the universe is demanding upon us to really heal this part. And this part was really important for you to see, distinguish that a lot of these external things that you associate or recognize as you is not you. And you had to see it, and you had to separate yourself from that. You had to put all these things outside and really go in to see who you really are. So it was really, you know, about finding out about yourself. It's almost like, you know, dating yourself for a bit there, and finding the important aspects of yourself, your heart, your love towards yourself. And then we had strength. So it was quite a process. I got Leo energy there. So it was quite a process. It was quite a revelation for yourself. And in so being, it's also going to be reflective, you know, coming into partnership or growing the partnership that you are, if you're already in a relationship with somebody. But you're going to start seeing warming. I'm getting warming coming in. A lot of warming energy coming in for you. Okay, so now coming down to the lower self, that's your basic survival instinct, your subconscious self. It's where we harbor, a lot of the pain or conflict within ourselves, insecurities and everything there. And so the energies that are rising up from the lower self at the moment for you is I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't see. So we got the Nine of Swords. Again, Nine of Swords. So a lot of mental worry. But as we know about the Nine of Swords, it's unnecessary. It's more our mind. And that can happen a lot with Sagittarius. Can really get into the mind. So yeah, there was this lot of mental energy, and I guess it was coming from, the separation, feeling, insecure about yourself. And we did have this card come in, you deserve love. So, and it looks like it's Sagittarius. So basically, so having that self-doubt, feeling like unworthiness. So that was really, really a strong feeling there. And that's going to impact, your I'd like to say, don't take this the wrong way, but your ability to accept love, right? And so you deserve love. So it's like, well, my ability is going to be reflective as to how, much worthy I feel of myself. If I don't feel worthy of love, then I'm not going to feel like I'm deserving. So once I start realizing, hey, this is just, that toxicity in the devil card that is coming through with my circumstances at the moment, my surroundings at the moment, and it's creating this. But these are external things. These have nothing to do with me. So now that I realize that has nothing to do with me, I can begin to heal this. I can start feeling worthy now, because you do deserve love, Sagittarius. Of course, you're the fun sign, the party sign. But the thing is, you deserve the party as well, not just making everybody else feel good. So the other energies we have coming in is also, now we have the Page of Cups. So again, a lot of this love, questioning about love. So I'm seeing, so the Page of Love is usually about an offering of love, and I'm seeing, he's looking at the cup, and instead of seeing, it's almost like you have detached yourself from, again, talking about this worthiness and love. It's like you detach yourself from your own worthiness of love. So it's almost like as if you told yourself, you know what, I don't deserve this. It's way up here. I put it on a pedestal. I'm kind of down here. So it's almost like you've almost given up on that. But, once you realize you arrived, and I guess that's where, there was kind of that caution when that loved one is revealed, you're going to kind of want to jump into it. And I guess this is where this might be coming in for you, Sagittarius. Again, it's a general read, so take what resonates. If that's not resonating, then don't worry about it. But this is what's coming out through the reading, is that, so there was this sense that, maybe you were just even doubting yourself, even like, maybe not necessarily like this love is way out here, but maybe a sense of, as well as, I don't know if it'll ever come. Maybe just a simple question like that. Just kind of questioning, if this love is ever going to come. And then, and that's where this card comes in. Stay optimistic. So, stay optimistic about your love life, because it's here. It's been right in front of you. You just haven't seen it, but it was okay because it wasn't the right timing for you. You weren't ready, and Spirit realized you were doing all the work. So, Spirit, that love, was saying it's okay, take your time, I will be here. And there's that thing of timing, like the thing about the fire signs and the timing, that don't worry. You don't have to rush. You don't have to, get to the finish line, faster or before anybody else. It's okay. Whatever is meant to be for you is there. Don't lose the faith. Stay optimistic. And there's that message right there. Stay optimistic about your love. And then the other energy is we got the Hermit energy. So that's kind of like a double Hermit, but it's really interesting how the Hermit energy is coming from the lower self, and then we have the actual Hermit card from the higher self. So it's what I'm getting is what the reading is pulling through as above, so below, but outward and inward. So it's really taking yourself, your whole being, and really connecting with your inner self, and quite possibly shining out through that inner self, really loving that inner self and having that come shining through. What I'm trying to say is this illumination right here. Illuminate, bring that beautiful, loving, fun Sagittarian self outward to the world. Shine. And what I'm getting to is if you're oh well, I'm kind of doing that, my friends and that, I'm getting an energy on a higher level. So it's like a time for you to really shine yourself, because your love is amazing, and it's time to shine it out to to a grounder scale, because we got this external attention coming through from this card. You have the spotlight on you coming through this card, but it's still dim. So in other words, and you see it's like the light is rising through. So it's like it's like Spirit saying, it's time for you to actually shine. Keep coming out, keep bringing that inner beauty out to the world, because they need to see it. And that's what's coming through. So it's broaden your horizon, broaden your your audience. Allow more people to see your beauty. Don't be shy to shine. Bring that inner beauty out, and that's what's coming through. So very interesting again. That sword energy again, air energy again. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Again, Aquarian energy. So there may be an Aquarian around you, somebody with Aquarius in their sign. Not necessarily, but again, we have this kind of rest, peaceful meditation. So what's coming through, and it's coming through the higher self. So your divine self is even saying, stay steady. Don't get caught up with the excitement and everything. So even though you are, the Spirit is asking you to broaden your audience and the spotlight on you, be more out there in public, something to do with public, whether it's some form of media or just speaking or teaching, more audience, greater audience. Be out there for a greater audience to see your beauty, your what you have to share, your knowledge to the world. But even with that, it's still getting, still do it at a steady pace. There's basically no need to win a race, because there's no race. You just have to move at the time that's timing that is right for you. And then we have this 10 of Wands coming through. So again, ending all this burden. Ending this burden that, all this, self-doubt, if you will, this challenges of rising to the top. So all this hard work, you don't have to fight so hard anymore to prove yourself or anything like that. You just have to be yourself. You have to shine through, and then just broaden that horizon, broaden that audience, broaden your horizon. All right. Well, I hope that reading helped. As far as in love, the more you broaden the horizon, the more your love will shine through like a flame in the night, and as you begin to illuminate, you'll also illuminate upon the loved one that's coming through. But it's important that your partner will come through when you're ready. And to get ready for your partner is, you're basically, Spirit is saying, you're there. Just continue to keep moving forward, but don't get caught up with the snowball effect. Don't get caught up with too much of the energy. Stay steady, because you also want to stay focused. And that kind of came through. Was important, was maintain that focal point. All right, Sagittarius, I hope that helped. You can leave a comment below. Yeah, I really enjoyed the reading. I forgot we have one more card left here. And unexpected visitors. Wow, that's really cool. It's a 4-1, which is 5. So definitely a lot of changes. A lot of 5s have been coming through. And an unexpected visitor goes right to the heart of, with the general information and during the general reading for the fire sign, it's like all of a sudden, when you're ready, all of a sudden that loved one's going to kind of pop up, and you're just going to be like, wow, holy moly, it's you. And it's basically going to come up. It's going to be unexpected because you didn't see it, but it was right in front of you, and it's like, ooh, it's that kind of like unexpectedness. All right, again, Sagittarius, have a good night. I enjoyed reading for you. I hope this helped you. And again, it's a general read. Just take what resonates, and just never mind the rest. All right. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Have a good day or evening. E aloha keikahi, e keikahi. Love one another. Thank you. Bye-bye. Aloha. Welcome, Leos, to your reading. And of course, if you're cross-watching, you can reverse the characters. I will just be taking the perspective, the reading on the Leo. So you can do your magic if you're cross-watching, or whatever you need to do with that to reverse the messages, if you need to do that. Otherwise, welcome to the Leo reading, and welcome to Moana's Divine Reading. I am Moana Anela, the Hawaiian Gypsy. Okay, so first out, Leo, we have Ace of Pentacles. So wow, manifesting brand new beginnings. That's great. So we kind of came through in the beginning for the general reading for all the fire signs. We had the what that comes to me is we talked about, the loved one that's kind of like right there, but it wasn't being seen yet. However, now we're coming into this manifested energy. Spirit is just showing me the message that this new love, or or if you're in a relationship, this new part of your relationship, it's about to be revealed. So if you're with a partner, a part of your partner is going to come through. They're going to reveal something about themselves. They're going to open up their heart a little bit more. And that's also what I'm getting, what Spirit is showing me, is because of you opening up your heart, coming back to the soul retrieval, this deep soul healing. I really get that, Leos, you're doing a lot of healing, but it's almost secretive. I'm getting that feeling of secretive. So we'll see what the cards come out before I say anymore. But that is like a message that Spirit is showing me. So when we get into the, before I go any further, when we get into the aspects of each individual sign, now we take into a deeper level of the energies. So in the general reading, it was more energies that were kind of universal, that were surrounding us, that was happening all around us. So when we get into this aspect, now we kind of go into the Hawaiian spread of the three selves. So the middle one is you here manifested on this planet, and how you show yourself through the world, and that is aligned with the heart chakra. Then up here above the middle self, we have the higher self, and that's your alignment with the crown chakra. So this is the divine self, and then middle self, and then below the middle self we have it's basically it's the pure self, but it's the subconscious self, and it's also the self where we harbor like any of the pain, or any of that kind of, like, from trauma or anything like that. And we harbor our ego and fears, like, basically coming out there, and it's kind of where the healing begins, and that's the place where we had that seven of fire. So that is the area for the lower selves. Okay, and so I always start with the middle self, with the manifested station that is being shown to the world. And so for the general energies, we had the nine of air. Right, you can see that card there, not too good, but we can lift it up. Okay, so we started with the nine of air, basically that kind of like, that worry that keeps us up all night. But it was because of a lot of this distraction going around, it was kind of pulling you in many different directions. And then you're starting to realize, you know what, I'm not going to pay attention to this external distraction. I'm going to go inside. And then I can see, like, I got wings. And I'm able to, basically, spreading the wings like that indicates now I can take basically control of the situation. I can take back control of the chaos. I can bring things back into balance. So that's kind of what's coming through for you. And so coming into the middle self aspect of you, what's coming through is we have the Queen of Pentacles. And then we also have the Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords is, which is basically, deceit, that kind of thieving energy, stealing, deceit, people not being honest with you. Okay, so, and then interesting, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So we got this earth energy coming through. So even though this love reading, I'm getting that Seven of Swords. It's not like a loved one that you're lied to. I'm getting, it's just, oh, okay, that's what it is. I'm not getting a romantic loved one that was necessarily lied to, that is creating a, kind of like this Nine of Air energy coming through. What I'm getting is other people in your lives that you loved, like family, close friends, buddies, people you grew up with. I'm getting you just kind of like starting to see, like, it's coming like some kind of pattern of people, even though there's like chaos and everybody's all over the place, but it's coming from, like this certain pattern that's coming through of like a certain aspect that you're kind of being hit by all these different people that you felt, were close to you, were your friends. And now you're starting to see that, oh my goodness, there was kind of like, this kind of lying, manipulation, I'm not getting anything drastic, like too drastic. I'm just kind of getting like, almost like that honor. That's what's coming through. Almost like the Leo, King of the Lionheart kind of honor energy. And even though they didn't do it to hurt you or anything like that, it was still like they did hurt your honor. And that may have been more like basically the ego kind of being hurt. And yes, even though what they did was not right, it was still hurt. And that's coming through you coming into, you know, a love connection, or if you're with somebody that you're questioning, you're beginning to question, you know, whether if it's worth it, you know, is it worth it, like even bothering right now? And it's just for this time. 7 is a temporary energy. It's just for this moment because this came to light, especially with this Mercury retrograde, you know, all this thing. But we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles, now what's coming through, well, she's kind of one that is very confident. She's always prepared. She has all her needs because she makes sure that everything is needed. Now, I think also too what's coming through with this Nine of Pentacles is that I'm getting this is kind of like how you felt in your life. You felt like everything was there, everything you had was needed. And now it's coming through of the sense of energy of promises. Maybe there were certain promises, or there were certain things that were kind of shown to you in a certain way that made things look like everything was good, everything was stable and secure. And now you're finding out, wow, things were not at all what they portrayed themselves to be. And it's starting to question like your relationship in general, even a love relationship coming in. And I'm kind of getting in this scenario for Leos, I'm kind of getting, rather than, you know, a lot of people question, you know, about love, like, am I going to get love? In your scenario, I'm kind of getting, there's others that are wanting to come together with you, like you're receiving the offers. All right, moving on to the lower self. All right, so we have the Nine of Cups, Three of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. So interesting. We have the Queen of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. So, wow, perfect. So there is deep down a desire for a wish fulfillment, for a true love coming in, soulmate, twin flame, divine love, however you see that. So there is a desire for that, and you have this passion, and you are feeling this kind of creative energy. The Three of Cups is about celebration, but threes are also about expansion. So you are feeling this urge to begin to expand, you know, on your love quest, if you will. So basically coming into partnership. So there is this desire, and you have this King of Pentacles here. There is a sense of stability within yourself. So you have stability within yourself. You have the means to do what you want or what you need to do to move forward, but you're just questioning relationships in general right now. And so this is, you know, creating a little bit, you know, adding to, you know, this confusion of this Nine of Air. So there's you, and you're trying to balance yourself within, because you are wanting, you know, love right now in your life. Again, this is not for everybody. Or you are wanting a better relationship with yourself. or you are wanting, 3 cups can also be, you know, that celebration going into your career. So something that you're passionate about, you are, you know, wanting to move forward in your career and something that you love. However, again, you're just questioning the people around you. You're questioning the integrity. Again, swords is all about righteous and integrity and truth. So you're questioning the integrity of the people around you because you're finding that they're not being so upfront with their intentions as well. So, and it's affecting, you know, your love life, or it's affecting you moving forward in your passion. But you're getting there. So coming from the divine, your divine self will also kind of add to how things are moving forward for you. And from your higher self, we have the Hangman. So there's that change of perspective. You're really looking at things. You're pausing this aspect of your love life right now. And again, this is not for everybody. This is for some of you out there. But this message is coming through for somebody. So with all this questioning, you know, it's causing this pause. So you're just putting the whole love life or things you're passionate about on hold as you kind of try to get more of an insight as to exactly what's going on. Why is this kind of things happening, and what's going on here? And then we have coming through, we have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands, sorry. Yep. So 6 of Wands. So this is a good introspection that's happening. Okay. So the 6 of Wands, it is giving you that you know, glorious victory. You are getting a lot of attention from people, and that's also, you know, maybe not necessarily something you want right now, but you will be victorious because you are doing the right thing. Because it came out, you know, in Sagittarius reading about slowing down, not getting caught up with all this excitement. But you're staying stable, you're staying strong, you're staying that Leo energy that, you know, the lion can also be very stable, but how he tames that fire is he'll sleep 24 hours. Well, not 24 hours, but he'll sleep like 22 hours out of the day. And that's how he, you know, sustains his energy, you know, that fire can energy. And so you're doing kind of the same thing. You're just putting a pause on things, and it's coming through, the energy is coming through, the spirit saying, wow, that's amazing. You're doing this all on your own. Like figuring this thing out. And you're going to be victorious. So it is giving the sense of energy not to worry. Just allow things to unfold, you know, continue to do what you need to do. You know, again, I'm getting this Hermit coming through, this Hermit energy. So again, with the Hangman, the Hermit, and look at the colors, are pretty much the same there. So you're doing the right thing. You're doing what you need to do. And so just rest assured, it's all okay. And then this card came out, so stay optimistic in love. These were the, I don't know if I showed these, and they were supposed to come out in general reading, so I'll just show them here. So the 3 cards that came out with the Angel Oracles were stay optimistic in love, and you deserve love. So if you've been feeling like from all this betrayal that, wow, you know, I can't believe this happened to me. It's like, no, you're right. It shouldn't happen to you. It wasn't anything you did. It was just, you know, maybe part of the lessons to help you moving forward, to help you to grow, and to show you who's who, right? Mercury retrograde. It was to show you who's who, and that's why this is all coming to light. And then we do have the soulmate coming in. Now, soulmate doesn't necessarily mean, you know, the romantic love. It can also mean like soulmate connections, like, you know, that true friend. Again, the integrity, that this person is going to come into your life, whether it's romantic or whether it's this true friend or whether it's this partner in business or, you know, the right people that's going to come in, you know, for you moving forward in your life. So, but if it is romantic, then the soulmate is coming in. And again, that's what we're getting, right? Soulmate or twin flame or this divine partner. I really like saying divine partner. And then we have the Two of Cups. So definitely, I mean, for what I would have to say for Leos, again, for those who this reading resonates with, is you can't escape love. You can pause it and put it on hold and make sure it's going at the right pace for you, but this love is coming in. We do have this Two of Cups, this Gemini energy, but I am getting, you know, and this is a love reading, and it's coming in from the divine. But what it's also saying, because this is in the higher self position, that this love is also going to be, you know, what I was explaining with the soulmate card. It is going to be that like of a soulmate energy. In other words, the love that's going to resonate with you, it's a love that's going to take both of you to the next higher level, to raise each other's, you know, energies and vibrations, if you will. Okay, and then to close the reading, we have our Enchanted Map. And I love these cards. And you have Rescue. Another sign had this card as well. So basically, too, is have faith. It's basically have faith in the universe. The universe is bringing it in. And that's why you have the Victory card, is because that's what you're doing. You're doing this. And again, 1 in a 6 is a 7. So it's temporary energy. It's not going to last. So this uncomfortable feeling that you're having because of all this revelation of, you know, all this loss of honor that you've been feeling, you know, and all the exposure of all this kind of deceitful energy. I really don't like that word, but, you know, it is kind of deceitful, even though it wasn't meant to harm you. It was just, you know, it was kind of just, you know, people thought they were doing what they needed to do to you know, get what they all needed to get. But unfortunately, it wasn't done the right way. And it wasn't with integrity and honesty. And so Spirit is saying, so that's okay. Have faith. Have faith in the process. Here's Spirit coming to rescue you. So basically, as much as all this negativity has been revealed, all this positivity with that will be revealed as well. And it's the same thing. You can't see the light, you know, until you're in the darkness, right? So it's that kind of take for, and a first card we have was this Ace of Pentacles. So a whole new beginning. So, you know, all new people. Swords are about also cutting. So all new people, you probably already got rid of these. Leos are pretty straight. So you probably already cut all these people. And that, you know, that brought kind of like dishonor to the relationship. And that's okay. That's okay. You got to move in your process, and that's what you need to do. And then we have Spirit is bringing in the right people for you, and they will resonate with you. All right. Thank you, Leo. I hope this reading helped, and I hope somebody got something out of it. I really enjoyed reading for you. It's always really cool. It's really neat to see what kind of energies are coming out, what energies are out there. So thank you very much for letting me read this for you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day, lots of love and light, and a aloha keika'i, ikeikahi, love one another. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, Aloha Aries, welcome to your portion of the fire sign reading. I'm Moana Anela, the Hawaiian Gypsy, and this is Moana's Divine Readings. So when we get into the aspect of the individual signs, We basically go into the levels of energy as per Hawaiian, the Hawaiian spread of the three selves. So in general, with spirit, we had higher energies, and then central energies that are manifested energies, and then root energies that kind of is the foundation energies for the central energies. And then when we come into your reading, basically the top one is the higher self, your divine self. And then the middle one is your manifested self here on this planet. It's a self that resonates with your heart chakra. It's a self that you show to the world. And then the lower self is basically a pure self, but it's the subconscious self. It's also the self that where we harbor like any of our pain or hurt or anything, trauma, that kind of stuff. We kind of harbor there, manifests, into either ego or fears or that those kind of energies, and that's where our healing begins, is in the lower self. And it resonates with the root chakra, and I forgot to mention the higher self resonates with the crown chakra. Okay, so we'll get started. Well, I always start with the middle self and then go from there. So we had the 9 of air for the general energy for fire signs as the central energy. And that, basically it's that 9 of swords, that worrying and everything, possibly confusion, what's going on. And, basically came out distraction, and you're kind of figuring out, to settle, calm this air energy down is by, going in. Okay. And then that's confirmed by the higher energies with the Hermit going in. So for your energies, Aries, for your middle self, what's going on with you for the love reading is that we have the King of Swords. He came out in another reading, and then we have the 7 of Swords, which that just came out with Leo, and then we have the 5 of Wands. Okay, wow, you fire signs are going through some stuff. So we're looking at either side of the King of Swords. Okay, so Aries, it sounds like you're trying to balance yourself when it comes to love and life, also in general, even though this is a love reading. But it seems like you're trying to balance yourself in life. So you can have a successful, love relationship, whether you're in a relationship or not. But it just seems like altogether you're just trying to balance yourself with I'm getting some of the external influences that are happening around you. So we have Wands. So basically I'm getting Wands is kind of in relating to relationships is what's coming through to the reading. And then we have the Swords. So that's more of like, again, more mental energy for you. Conflict at possibly at work, your surroundings, your friends. So there's this conflict going on with basically your relationships. And then again, like basically I'm seeing communication coming through, and I'm also with this wand energy is this kind of like conflict coming through with relations in general. Now 5 is a change. Now what I'm getting is with this wand energy, and of course wands is fire, represents fire signs. So your relationship, but I'm getting, relationships that are meaningful to you. Aries, you're pretty strong. And what's really cool about Aries is you don't really worry about those relationships, like those kind of menial relationships that that, you know, are just more like, oh, yeah, you know, there's my colleague or buddy. You don't worry about that. You worry about the ones that mean something to you. And because there's a lot of change going on, there's been a lot of change. We're still in Mercury retrograde by the time I'm doing this reading. There is a lot of change going on, a lot of things coming forth from you know, from behind the scenes moving forward. And with this change is you're starting to see people from a different light, and it's changing your perspective. And it's also, you know, kind of maybe creating, you know, possible conflicts in belief system, kind of like, or in the way you know, each of you guys see the world. So we're starting to see, you know, maybe conflicting idealisms coming through, and it's kind of having an impact on your relationships in general. Okay, so right now you're just seeing, what's coming through is relationships in general. Now whether you're with somebody or you're not, this has to do across the board with relationships, and so does this sword energy. So it's having impact on communication, it's having impact on your expressing yourself, and there's a loss of not necessarily integrity, but I'm getting there's a loss of this feeling of oh, it's right at the tip of my tongue. It's not integrity, but it's the sense of you know, realism. You know, this sense of oh goodness, this word won't come out. You know, like being truly who you are, and people being truly who they are. Genuine. Thank you. Genuine. Thank you, Spirit. That's the word. So this genuinity, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but this genuineness of interaction between you and other people in general is kind of being lost. You're starting to see the lostness of the genuineness of people. Like, people are not being genuine. They're not really being who they really are. And it's kind of creating impact, like it's making you not kind of want to reflect that back to them, like, well, if they're not going to be genuine with me, well, hey, I'm not going to show them my true self. And that's having an impact on everything across the board, including love life. So, and it's just because of the changes that are coming through right now. So there's change, and 7 is temporary. So again, the 7 is so strong. It keeps coming through over and over and over. So yeah, it is temporary. So this uncomfortableness, it's making you feel really uncomfortable. All right, so yeah, you're feeling, yes, you're feeling a loss of the genuineness in relationships across the board, friendship, family, if you're in a romantic relationship, and it just is creating this conflict altogether. So we have 5. So it's, you know, because there's a lot of changes, you're changing, and you know, you're growing, but not necessarily everybody's growing at the same pace as you are. And then we have the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords is temporary, so it's temporary energy. We are moving forward, and right now you're just kind of trying to create this balance here. The King of Pentacles is showing through, and I'm getting that's you. Oh, sorry, King of Swords. That's you trying to balance all this energy. You know, gaining a foundation. I mentioned a King of Pentacles. Usually when I make a mistake like that's not a mistake. It's just the energy that's also coming through. So you're grounding yourself, and you're creating this. You're kind of creating an inner peace within yourself by just, you know, focusing, you know, on your truth, and you're not worrying about all this external truth. And that's what comes out through this card, is she's learned not to focus on the distraction on the outside, but to go within, and then she begins to like balance herself. Now, of course, I say she because it's a she on the card, but it's not, you know, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, it's the energies. So don't worry about that. Okay, coming down to the lower self. So this is what's coming through is your innate self. And so there is the 3 of Pentacles, there's the expansion. And then we have the Two of Cups. So there's love, or it could be Gemini energy. And again, I'm getting this balancing of you're balancing, your relationships all together, kind of like looking at each relationship and how, they kind of, how they kind of impact you, and how you are beginning to, associate with each of these relationships to, move forward. And then we have the Chariot. So there is moving energy. You are feeling this moving energy. It might be causing, a bit of butterflies there. You are a fire sign, and there's this moving energy, and we got this Cancer energy. So what I'm getting is, Aries, I'm getting this Cancer energy of, kind of like this nurturing energy. And with all this conflict coming through, it's starting to have you look, more inward, and starting to see, I have to start nurturing myself if I want to be successful, in love, if I want to be successful just in life in general, love and life. And you're feeling this Two Cups. So it is good, this feeling that you're having, that's coming through the reading here, of this nurturing energy moving forward, and really taking, the aspects of yourself, your love aspects of yourself, and so the threes, represent expansion, but they also represent creation, and Pentacles is manifestation. So now you're really kind of assessing how you're going to manifest each relationship. How will they, in a positive sense, how is each relationship going to benefit you? And you're really looking at this positive. I'm seeing a lot of positive energy coming in for you. And it's really, really great because, your love is expanding. Your network is expanding, in relationships, and, in all across the board. So things are really expanding for you, but you're just kind of, and you're starting to shine through, which is the seven of Wands. So there we have the Seven of Wands, you have the Seven of Swords, and the Five of Wands. So really a lot of challenges with your relationship with yourself, and then challenges with relationship with others, because the relationship with others that kind of made you question your own relationship with yourself. Like, why am I, accepting certain things in my life? What is it that's going on that these things are happening to me? These kind of questions. Do I really want these type of relationships? Do I really want to be in a relationship like this? Those kind of questions seem to be coming up for you, and it's like, you feel this growth, you're growing, and it's kind of, I feel for you, Aries, that you're growing kind of rapidly, and I'm really, it's actually a very exciting feeling that I'm getting, and I'm getting a real positive, successful feeling, and it's going because you are questioning, in a positive, moving forward aspect of this. The Chariot energy here, positive moving aspect of moving forward. I want my life to be genuine. I want it to be emotionally fulfilling, and I want it to be emotionally balanced. Like this Two Cups, and so my next stage in love, I want it to be balanced, because I'm getting a sense that you're really feeling fulfilled within yourself, and you want to share that with somebody. But what's smart is you're also being cautious that you want to make sure it's the right person, so you get back what you give, and that's only fair. That's really a wonderful thing. So that's really, really, really awesome. And you are expanding. Your relationships are expanding. And possibly more in ways than just numbers, in ways in just quality, and in different types of relationships. You're starting to find, wow, I never knew I could have a relationship like this with somebody, and this is not necessarily romantic. This could be almost like a friend business kind of relationship. It's like different. You're starting to really experience different types of relationships, as well as you're growing in your love relationship as well, and that's really coming through. So this is nice. We have the Six of Wands. Interesting. Leo had the Six of Wands, same area. So basically your love life is going to be very victorious because you're very confident in a real positive way, and you're continuing to grow and you want to grow. So we also have the Page of Swords. Okay, and that's that you're taking a real look at relationships from a different perspective, in a more like in the aspect of, right. And then this Ten of Swords, so coming to completion, ending all that, ending all relationships that haven't been served you, or you felt that integrity wasn't there, that kind of wasn't what it portrayed itself to be in the beginning. And that's why you're doing this reassessment in relationship. So we're just going to finish up the reading with this card, the Moonlight, 5-1, which is a 6. So balancing your energies between your relationship with yourself and your expectations with relationships with others, and what you want to give to, what you want to invest in a relationship, and what you would like coming back to you. So and that goes back to that Page of Swords. All right, so the Moon, 6, balancing of energies, relationships, balancing you and others that you interact with in relationships all across the board. That's the 6th energy. Also following that intuition. So you're really going to the place. We had the Hangman. So really going within and listening to that intuition. And also, this also talks about, your intuition being spot. All right, so listening to your intuitive sense and balancing everything. As well as universe has asked you to be called to look for synchronicities as well. The signs and you see them, and so just follow those signs. Okay, great. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that was able to help somebody and it resonated somewhere. You can let me know in the comments below and how you like these readings. Other than that, Aries, have a great month, and I look forward to seeing you next month. Lots of love and light. Aloha, keika'i, keikahi. Love one another. Have a great month. Aloha.